Heroes Like Us is a series intended at sharing comic book characters from various backgrounds and identities. We won't always get everything right, so feel free to make amendments and corrections in the comments. They're always appreciated. What's not appreciated, however, is any form of hate speech or intolerance, so comments of that nature will be immediately deleted and those users blocked from this channel. This is a place of education and celebration. Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic, and today on Heroes Like Us, we're looking at the identity of Polynesian / Pacific Islander, because they don't, as far as I understand, they don't always mean the same thing, but we're going to cover some characters that fit in that arena. So let's dive in. I do have to apologize before we get too far into this, because these characters are unfortunately not always very prominent, which means they don't have a lot to talk about. And their pictures, I think for a few of these I have like 2 or 3 pictures and that's it. So this is going to be a fairly brief video, but hopefully still interesting for those of you that are Polynesian or Pacific Islander descent. Hopefully this is still interesting for you. We're going to start with a Marvel character named Aloha. Her real name is Alani Ryan. She was born and raised in Maui, and she realized at a young age that she could pass through things, not just in a way like Kitty Pryde could, but when she passes through something, it actually destroys the thing that she's passing through. She calls this effect crumbling. When her power manifested, she is a mutant. When her power manifested, it covered her body in these red tattoos, but they don't seem to have any function. Since then, she's been adopted into the Atlantean Society with Namor, so she's an honorary Atlantean, and they gave her kind of this necklace which allows her to breathe underwater, and it gives her other kind of fish-like qualities, so it like compensates for pressure and allows her to exist underwater. Up next from Marvel Comics, we've got a character by the name of Mondo from Samoa. Mondo is a mutant, and his ability is that he can touch something and turn his body into that material. So he can touch a tree and it becomes wood, right? His origin is basically he's a mutant. He seemingly joined the group Generation X, but it turns out that that was just a clone sent by the evil Black Tom Cassidy. Mondo himself is actually a villain working with Black Tom. So they thought they killed him, but he is still around, seemingly still alive, seemingly still a villain, which kind of undoes all of the cool Generation X stuff that he did. And I was a huge Mondo fan, and that is a huge bummer. Up next from DC Comics is a character by the name of King Shark. Now, there's a lot of rumors about his origin. Some say that he's a mutated shark, some say he's a mutated person. The story that he tells is that he's the son of a Hawaiian god. Most of the time, King Shark is a villain, which means he's rampaging through the waters, hurting people, but he has served in the Suicide Squad for a stint trying to redeem himself. But mostly he is kind of terrorizing the Hawaiian Islands, mostly as a beast. But his roots to Hawaii, I thought he was at least worth mentioning here. Up next from Marvel Comics, we've got a character by the name of Kiwi Black from New Zealand. This is a perfect example of not having a lot to go off, as Kiwi Black was only in like one story. But basically he is the son of Azazel. God, that's so hard to say. Which is also Nightcrawler's father. And so he is Nightcrawler's half-brother. And he was a villain working kind of against the X-Men, but then eventually changed his mind and led them to leave. He did not appear in any other storylines because he supposedly lost whatever mutant powers he had during an event called M-Day. And it's really unclear what his powers were just because the short amount of time he was in. Up next is a DC character by the name of Silver Sword. And he sees himself as the protector of Hawaii, but that also means he often might sometimes face off against other heroes because he is just protecting his land and his people. And what he can do is he's basically covers his body in this silver-like substance which he can control and form into armor and weapons, things like that. It mostly appears as the ancient historical Hawaiian king Kamehameha. I apologize, I think that's it. Kamehameha. That's the way he appears when he's in the full armor. He has not been in a lot of stories. He's only been in a few, facing off, I think, against Superboy. But he is a prominent protector of Hawaii. So that is all I could find for prominent Polynesian or Pacific Islander heroes and heroines. Are there others I forgot? Because I would love to talk about them. We'd love to do a part 2 if we can find enough to cover there. So in the comments, let me know what you thought about this list. Are these people surprises to you? Is this cool? Is this interesting? Did I miss someone? Let's talk about it. Hopefully this was at least a little bit interesting. And make sure to check out other videos. We've got about 16, 17 other Heroes Like Us videos up. Make sure you go watch those, comment, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time on Heroes Like Us.